Alright, I'll buy a couple lots here. They're probing the 4-hour low from the last from pre-market. I like it. Buy a couple more. This is a pretty strong move up, and that failed breakdown at 38, so I bid it. Pretty strong tape off the open. We haven't had volume like this in a while. That was a good buy, man. Damn. I bid and they quickly started freaking flying. My classifier, my bot says it's an open drive, so if so, that's a massive thing if we is an open drive. I guess we'll target the overnight high. That already tagged so quickly this morning. Shit. I didn't even see it hit the overnight high. Just quickly tapped it. Okay, let's kill another one there. Now we're just down 2 lots. Alright, so I scaled there. Just down a small position because it's still within the range from last night and yesterday. See the consolidation here on the 15-minute chart up here. Yeah, we did a pretty good job at sweeping this little low here. The 440 low. Is it 38, I think? Yeah, we swept the 38 low, or I should say 440, and then we immediately just did an open drive. And the reason I bid right away as well was my my bot that classifies the open says it could be a opening drive. So let's see if that ends up being true. Still about 10 minutes to validate. And we're back to the VWAP. What a reversion, huh? And this is why I like to scale. It was not an open drive. Certainly not. It could be, yeah. I think that might be the one. It could be an open test drive overnight. It could be. I mean, the entry for that would have been, of course, like, you know, near the overnight high on the lower high. Could be. I personally, what's tricky about that is that, I mean, yes, it is. The optimal entry was near that top quartile of the move, so between 460 and 468 for the open test drive. So certainly, I just wouldn't mind it too much at this point to. Well, actually, no. Let me see. Let me see. Because there's entry parameters for a trade like that. And it's usually the second pro below VWAP. So if this pops here and then rejects and comes back below VWAP a second time, then that's the entry for open test drive. And my journal says second cross is your entry trigger, never the first stop above the probe high. So if you do want to take that setup, that's the entry. The take profits are at it's not even favorable for the short setup. Again, I'm long biased only, so although it is that setup for sure, even taking that trade, the take profit on the first standard deviation down is at 438. The entry's at 449. It's 11 points. It's just not the greatest, to be honest. But if you want the setup, it's break below 449, and then the first standard deviation down is 438. So right here, if it tucks below and holds below that in the open, then yeah, the entry's below that. The take profit's a little points lower. I don't know. Look at this tape, dude. This tape says uppies. Tape is very violent right now. I think we go higher if this does break overnight high and holds. The NQ recovered, which is the one that was failing. It hit the value low and recovered. The violent tape. So if you want your direction, I think, yeah, wait for it to get below VWAP, and that's you'll have that 38, the opening low pretty much as your target. For now, it's just, it could be an open auction too, given that it's crossed the VWAP and the open twice already. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a very trappy open. What chart is that? Which one? I have 4. I have 4 charts on here. This one. This is an NQ chart over here. Do you have ES on there? Oh, yes, sir. ES, ES, ES. They're all ES. The only one that's not is this one. It's a NASDAQ. Right here. Did you look at the price? I mean, maybe it's small on the screen, but the price right here is the same. There is the column you can see is ES. All I trade is ES. I don't trade anything else. Oh, there it is. Cross below VWAP, down to 38s. You can't trade right now, so you're gonna trade through me. All right. All right, cool. So there's a 38. It hit 38s below VWAP, like the journal said. If you wanted the entry on that test drive, it was short below the second cross of the VWAP and down to the first standard deviation. So the did I put it wrong? No, open test drive. Here it is. Open. Yeah, this is gonna be it. So open test drive. The box says here, Behavioral rule: the second cross is your entry, never the first. Stop above the probe high, and then target 1 is STD1 on real move side. So 38 as STD1, and then they're bouncing it here again. So that was a short setup. I'm still long, and I'm willing to add more to this trade because I personally think today might be an expansion day from a because we had a tight consolidation day overnight. I already bought near the so I'm already long since last night. I'm long from 32. I took that same level long 3 times. I got long here at 32s overnight, scaled at 44, 47. And then I bought it again at 32, scaled again at 44 and 50. And then I bought some this morning at 44 and 47. I scaled at 56, 63, and 68. So I'm just down to a few lots. And so as much as I would like to add, I just don't feel like I need to put on more risk anymore after so many ads in the same zone. The same areas keep holding with strong support. So I just keep bidding. I just don't want to keep bidding anymore. I don't know if it'll collapse at this point, given how many times it's held. I have 2 lots. I've traded at least 30 lots in this area back and forth already. That's why the P&L is like 1,600, 1,500 floating. I locked in 1,400, so it's about 140 floating. United, it feels so good. They try to break it down and they couldn't. Looks like we're gonna break out probably above the overnight high. Just get on. So yeah, if you guys want to see, I posted this level, the 32s, on the newsletter. So the newsletter is free. The levels I give are free. The individual plans are not, but the levels that I was looking for on the S&P overnight and into this morning were all there. The title even has it. But just don't know. Oh yeah. I'm in a good mood. NQ is the weaker one today, but for the first time, for it being weak, the S&P is actually not being held back. At least as it relates to trading above the overnight high, or at a high in general. Because the last few days, this whole week actually, the NQ has been holding back the S&P. Because the Dow's been trending, the YM. Can I ignore the guy? Like, really cool and awesome. Like, I'm coming. But yeah. See if this hits the target right there at 80s, and then I'll just get down to a runner thereafter and see what the market wants to do after that. The 80s is the next extension. That's point of control from the month. It's the prior month point of control. It's a little bit above that. The 80s is like 84. It's where the high was yesterday. So the prior month, yesterday we tagged the prior month point of control here, and we rejected all the way down. I'm targeting somewhere below that at 80s, just where near the call wall and the point of control is, for another little lot. And then after that, I'll just hold the trade position, a small position, and let it ride for the rest of the day. See what it does, if it trends or not. Very volatile day. Ugh. And back down. It's so whippy today, man. Sheesh. Try not to get smoked on this, man. One thing you should not be doing is betting on breakouts or breakdowns in this market right now. You'll get fucked. US online spending hits 8.3 billion as Amazon Prime Day kicks off. Dang. Jeff. Yankee is still weak. You can see it clearly. It looks totally different than the S&P here. And Q below VWAP, S&P above VWAP. That divergence is prominent the last few weeks. There's another wake up of the tape. This tape is very, 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 very active today. This is great. This is what's been missing on the tape for, well, since last week. This is the most active I've seen the tape since, I mean, it's been a few weeks since we had something like this. Yesterday was kind of active, but not like this. Well, NQ is a key area here. It's at the value area low. What's it gonna do, brother? Right there, value area low, kind of testing right now on the NQ for yesterday's value area low. They're gonna accept below it because the priority low is right there. Not bad, huh? This keeps just holding VWAP so far. I haven't added to the trade anymore. I had it in the morning and that was it. I'm not going to add any more to this trade. I like the long still, but the longer we kind of hold here and don't expand and reward buyers for their effort, the less interested I am in buying more. Because that usually leads to trapped inventory, right? Because all this effort that I'm seeing on the tape, it needs to get rewarded, right? Because you have all this strong effort down here, that pushes, but it gets trapped back in. So if all this effort is not getting rewarded with new highs, it's essentially just trapped inventory right here, and that usually can lead to a capitulated move lower. So I'm just going to be patient. I have a green position, decent cost basis. So just going to let it ride out and see if it eventually breaks away from this tight range we're in. And the entry trigger was really the 432 failed breakdown from last night. Break, good color, ranges, smart money trapping. Which way? We only know when they break. Yeah, once they break, I mean, here's the thing. We're in a range and we'll continue to be in a range until it's not. And that's the hard part, is like, this is the kind of day that chops up a lot of traders because we have a tight base, a very clear base in range. And when that clear range is established, traders naturally will look for breakout trades. And that is where they get trapped, because they'll start getting long above 60, looking for a break into 80, 90, or they'll get short the 30s, looking for a breakdown to 400 or 15. And that's where they trap in kind of sessions like today, when the range is so clear and so obvious that the only thing a lot of traders will do is just try to short the low, buy the high for a breakout or breakdown. I don't like to do that. I don't ever do that, actually. I'm always hesitant of being trapped like that. So I usually just like to buy the failed move away from those areas instead. They don't always fail. That's the thing, is nothing's ever 100, but I like my odds at trading on the failed moves down, getting long, and then waiting to trade the other side, scale, and then hold a small position in case it does break or not. And this is what I'm doing now. Like, I'm long from 32, some ads here this morning at 40s, and I've already scaled at the top end of the range multiple times. And I'm just holding a small position in case it wants to break out or not. If it breaks out, I'm not adding to the trade. I'm just writing what I already have from the low end of the range. And if it stops me out, I'm still in profit on the stop loss. No matter which way, if it breaks down, I'm already in profit. I don't really care, no matter how it goes. I just want exposure if it does break out. That's it. Exposure small relative to the overall position size that I've had, right? And not the full position. I don't ever write a full position expecting a breakout. Just a small position that if it breaks out, awesome. It's not going to change my life or the P&L, but it'll be a nice addition or R factor to the overall net trade. It's small enough where I'm not emotionally attached to the position. But if it breaks out, I have exposure to a pretty strong move or parabolic move sometimes. And some days it doesn't break out. It just trails me out. I got trailed out on the runner every day last week from Tuesday to Friday. I still ended up green, so I didn't really care. But it doesn't mean I always catch a breakout on the runner. There's weeks or days on end where I get trailed out, and that's fine. There's another push and spike and tape. Look at the tape, dude. This tape is... We're not seeing a lot of volume trade individually, though. That's the thing. Like, individually, like, there's not clustered orders pushing this move. It's just a lot of market buying and selling. From a longer... Yeah, probably. It's probably from the... That was a long time ago. I don't remember what video it was, but it's probably the one... It's going to be one of those videos... I have very few videos that talk about failed breakdowns. There's like 2 videos, I think, only. So it's going to be one of those. But I'm glad it helped or explained. Why did they keep doing that? There it is. But yeah, I don't remember the short or anything, to be honest. But if it's about structure, I only have 2 videos on it. I haven't made any videos in a while, man. I don't know what videos to make on. Like, I can make stuff on like volume profile and failed breakdowns again. I don't have one on volume profile. I can make stuff on that. I don't know what to make videos on. I feel like it's all repetitive, but that's why I understand failed breakdown trading, and your explanation was... I don't really know what the RC is. I always seem to take the RC. Like, is RC, is that our reclaim? Yeah, so the reclaims are... The thing about reclaims is that they're very, very, very tricky trades. Those, I like to take them, but on, like, smaller size with aggressive take profits. Because reclaims, they're very trappy by nature. I don't like them. I take them. They're part of a structural trade, long, on reclaims. But they are very flimsy. So... It's they're lower expectancy, smaller trades, tighter profits, I would say. Because yesterday we had a reclaim near the end of the day. So this, see, like this one technically was a reclaim here overnight, like here during this time. This was the structure, right? This level was a reclaim to me. This little level right here. Right, but what happened? He took out the low here. You reclaim popped and then faded. Right, from this structure right here. With failed breakdown is a fresh level that hasn't traded. The failed breakdown is a fresh area that hasn't traded, and I would put that more on a higher time frame. So it would be like a 4-hour time frame for a failed breakdown. A reclaim is going to be something that isn't a significant low, right? So like a reclaim would just be a level that broke out, that comes back in and then reclaims back above. It's not a significant low or a structural low. A failed breakdown is going to be a structural low, a higher low, a daily low, a 4-hour low. A reclaim is simply a level that broke out previously, and that and it just comes back above it, right? Like this could be a reclaim here technically, right? You had a pro below reclaim, and then it bounced again, and then it faded and faded, and it did another reclaim here, and then it faded. So this would be a failed breakdown here, this structure here, because it's a significant low that led to an impulse move. I classify failed breakdowns as anything that nets over 20 or so points. But take the NQ, we just did a failed breakdown. Technically, that is a failed breakdown of the prior day low, 100%. Yeah, the NQ did a failed breakdown of the prior day low at the open. Or somewhere around the open. Right here. Yeah, a significant low and then came back inside, exactly. Once it came back inside of the valley area low, that was long into VWAP, and then from there... What do you, well, where do you get crushed is the question, right? Like, this is important to understand, is like, where are you getting crushed? Are you not taking profit? Are you not scaling out? Are you holding too long? Like, how are you managing the trade? Because my natural instinct would have been just take profit at VWAP, and it hit VWAP right there perfectly. Not to say close the entire position, right? Too tight of a stop. Where is your stop relative to the prior low? See, this is the thing I notice a lot of people do, and this is not you, Jim. I'm just saying, like, in people I talk to all the time, like no matter where it is, they try to go to break even, or they try to tighten the stop. And they get stopped out, and then the move goes right. Then it goes after that. My question always to them is like, well, why'd you move the stop? Where was the stop, number one, and then two, why'd you move the stop? Like, you don't get to move the stop until the structure breaks. You do not get to mess with the stop until the structure breaks and makes a new structure higher. Think of it like a staircase. You do not get to move any stop until you get a new consolidation phase above the original failed breakdown. So if this is the failed breakdown here, you would have to see price consolidate up here before you can even move a stop, because you're afraid they'll run you over. Well, when you took the trade, did you accept the risk? Right? That's number one. Like, when you took that trade, did you accept the risk that you were going to be stopped out? If you did when you took it, then there's no reason to touch the stop. Right? And if you're afraid to take the risk, you're size too big. That means you needed to trade smaller. You need to reduce the exposure of the trade, less contracts. Right? That's the way I would answer that. Because if you're afraid of it running you over, then don't take the trade. You're gonna get run over. It's gonna happen. There's no way around that, unfortunately. Right? It's gonna happen. It's breaking down here below the. Where's the IB? The IB still has 10 minutes. Okay. So I should be, I mean, look, whether you should be taking every failed breakdown is beyond me. That is for you to classify and to discern yourself, right? I don't know if every fail, see, the thing is, like, I don't know how you're classifying a failed breakdown, if everyone will be, but if there's one that happens at an overnight low or a prior day low, those usually are indicative of good failed breakdowns, right? Structural areas. So assuming we're talking about those as a baseline, then I would say yes. Whatever the significant low is, accept the risk, size it down if you need to. You should not be taking every failed breakdown as well with the same amount of contracts. Like your position sizing, their position sizing should be relative. This is a good failed breakdown right here. I'm gonna add a little bit here. If I bought more, I'll buy it, and I'll just kind of tighten the stop here a little bit. 31. I'm taking more here. Added a few more lots here on this potential failed breakdown at VWAP. Added a few more lots here on this potential failed breakdown. So that's a failed breakdown right there. This is, I would say it's a failed breakdown. It's a cluster of two lows at the open. So I added 3 more lots. There's the scales. A total of 5 lots again. Oh, good explanation. So the difference, so I would say like reclaims, you just need to understand that reclaims are not high quality. They're not going to be the same quality trade as a structural failed breakdown. They're 2 different trades. To me, they're 2 different trades. I don't size them the same. You've been looking at the same trade, yeah. Yeah, it's a reclaim. I mean, it's a reclaim for sure. The reason I like it, calling it a failed breakdown, is because it took the 2, what is this, an hourly low? Right here. There's a cluster of lows there, but let's just call it a reclaim, to be fair. Like, it's more of a reclaim than anything. I agree with you, especially my location. Like, the location in which I took the trade is more of a reclaim. You're not wrong. I agree with you. Because it took out these 2 clusters of lows, and then the entry would have been there, right here. But I took it at the VWAP area. So this is a reclaim of the support from this morning, right? Where we were holding at 450s. So yeah, you're not wrong. Okay? If we're gonna be technical, it's certainly a reclaim trade. So and then the NQ did a massive failed breakdown again. Now the NQ did a failed breakdown of the parity low once more, right? It's a conjunction. It's a collection of priority low and the original RTH low holding above PDL again. So that's probably why the S&P did this whole move here. So let's scale this one at 6.3 and this one at here 6.3 or 6.0. That's the Valor high. We'll put ourselves here at 6.0. There it is. Scale there at the Valor high. Solid trade. Hey, thanks, FH. This guy's what conviction looks like. Hey, thanks. See, like the thing is, like, it's like I wouldn't, yeah, some of it's conviction, some of it's just like I have such an embedded profit cushion that I don't mind putting on more risk on a reclaim on an area that I know I've been milking, right, for the last 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours, last whatever, since overnight. So like I have some conviction in the area, and then also like the reclaim structure looks decent. Like this is repetition, right? I can see the reclaim as it was happening a little more cleanly. The optimal entry would have been a little closer to the 40s, and that's okay with me. I don't care too much about the optimal entry right now. If it was a fresh entry, definitely would have been more critical of myself entering at the 50 as opposed to somewhere near the sub 40s. So yeah, it's a good trade. Thanks, man. I think they can squeeze them. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll see. What time is it? Yeah, AB's about to form here, so it's kind of those lows at 40, 440s. They're like that's the line in the sand now. Like if they hold, if they take out that low, then we break down for sure. So now it's like either we break out or we consolidate or we fail. I'm more leaning on consolidation / breakout because those lows are very significant now. We have 3 sets of sharp ass lows. Look at this. This is like trap heaven for bears. They trap the shit out of them down here on this range. And now on the flip side, if they manage to get priced below this area, they're fucking screwed, bro. Whatever happened here is gonna break the fuck down. So for me, that's a hard line now to cross. Like if we break below all that, I am not gonna be interested in holding any of this position anymore. So I'll just trail my stop around there. I was short yesterday from 70s, nice. And with sticky zone, had to go for a walk, couldn't watch it. You know what? Sometimes that's what it requires. Sometimes trading requires just take a trade if it's a good one and just walk away if you can't stare at it, because that frustration can make you do shit that you likely should not do. And I do that all the time, which is why I start doing other stuff, which God bless for Claude and like this whole AI stuff, because I'll just work on a project on the side and do some other stuff in the background while this is happening, you know. Like that distraction really helps me just like hold the trade if the setup is there. So that distraction eliminates the discretionary side of like watching the auction too much and making bad decisions, right? Or questioning your trade or whatever. So I'm glad you have a system for that, FH. That's great. The scale here at 70, see if it tags. There's a 0 print right there at 69 3/4. I'll put it there. I've been through a whole lot. That relation's bad. No, God. Yo. Radio. See what happens here, but good conversation so far. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. And again, like throughout this whole session, like you haven't, yeah, I'm not flipping emotions like a light switch here, you know. That's the key to trading, is like just find a setup you're looking for, keep an open mind, trade, and then however you manage the trade. For me, I scale, keeps me insane, keeps me a little sane throughout the whole move. So however the trade management works out for everyone, but the key thing is just have a setup you're looking for, you know, have parameters that you're looking for. They didn't hit 70 by a few ticks. Tisk. What time is it? The IB is now set, so we'll see what happens. Ooh. The current value or low is now at, oh shit, when did that change? What the heck? The weekly current value or low just shifted down to 416. I must have missed that. Because it's been sitting at 50s for like, well, since yesterday. So that's good. Definitely good. Now we have a double distribution on our hands on a profile, on a weekly profile. That is messy. So this time around, the NQ is actually holding over VWAP. This is good. This is good. We're in a different structural position on the NASDAQ than we were earlier this morning. Right? So we have some time over VWAP, and now just some time over VWAP. We haven't had time over VWAP since we've opened on the NASDAQ. Immediately on the open, it probed above VWAP, rejected, tested the priority low, came to VWAP, rejected. And then now we did another failed breakdown, and now we're actually above it. So these are the two instances where NQ traded into VWAP, right? You had it trade here, reject. Oops, that's not a good color. Here, reject, trade into it, reject, and then now we are holding over the VWAP this time around with a failed breakdown right here. So we'll see what happens. The Dow is trending over the overnight high. No concern there. Just the NASDAQ. Not really. We haven't gone anywhere. Look, we're still within a massive range. You got the bullish reclaim above, bear auction below. We're just inside that range. Not much has happened. 100. And fades back again. This kind of action, every time we try to break out, this has been going on since we were 100 points higher. It reminds me of like March. So like back in here, the multiple times we've tried to break above 90s, right? So many tests into it, fail, 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 fail. This is not really this is just kind of consolidation, but so many rejections after FOMC have occurred, and they finally have been breaking down from that failed breakouts. Thing is, like, this is just continuing. Got breakout, fail, breakout, fail, and then we have this one here pre-market, and then we have another one potentially forming here for another failed move. See how it plays out, but this is just a continuous environment right now within this week and last, where just failed breakouts are the move, the trend moves. So we'll see if that same condition continues into the rest of the week. Right. This market environment is a different one from a month ago, even 2 months ago, where where there was just a bunch of breakouts, breakout, 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 like just continuous breakouts. So we're in a different regime. Let's go to this one. So this regime we're in right now, where we're at right now, in this right here, is totally different than the one here. These two are two different markets entirely intraday. Here, every breakout works, and here it's like you got to be buying at a very tactical area, because breakouts are not working. And neither are breakdowns. It's a very balanced market. So you can see the consolidation, right? Before the actual move, consolidation, consolidation. This was more trendy to the downside and then failed breakout. So this like whole entire last week since the rollover has been a different environment than every other market from this one and from this one. So then expectations had to be adjusted, right? And it just makes it harder to trade intraday if you have a certain system for taking profits that needs to recalibrate, I guess. What that one? The one we know. Hey, well, look at it. What the heck? NQ's trying to go below the WAP. Don't do it, NASDAQ. Don't do it. Don't do it, NASDAQ. Oh. Get much higher. Alright, I gotta find something to do. I'm fucking bored, guys. Let's see. Oh, I'm about to hit the profit target there. Let's see if it hits. What the? Let's see. Oh, oh. Alright, come on. Stop fucking with me. Just take it at 69 for now. Yay! Yay! I took it a little early, but yeah, they hit the target. Look at that breakout. That came out of nowhere. What the frick? Dang, NQ's ramping. What's going on, NQ? Who bought you? Who bought you? Needless to say, I appreciate this room. Always a good chat. Hey! It is a good chat. I appreciate it, Jim. I try to keep the same demeanor every day, man. You know, just chill. Take a trade. Under some sort of neutral state. And then manage that trade within that same neutral state of mind. So I hope that kind of helps give some... I hope my temperament helps with anybody who watches the stream to kind of ground maybe the things you may be going through. Maybe like an anchor of some sort. Because the markets are hard, bro. This is emotional shit. And then, you know, wearing your emotion on your sleeve, or maybe sometimes not even realizing you're in an emotional state while you have Rick over here all calm and chill and boring. You're probably like, man, this guy, I gotta do what he's doing right now. I don't know. Because I feel like the biggest mistakes that happen from trading come from the emotional aspect that's associated with trading. When we get to those emotional decision-making points in our career or moments in trading, like having a focal point of like, hey, this guy's chill as fuck. I need to get to that point because this is not going well for me right now, right? Like I'm too emotional at this second or whatever. So I skilled another one. I'm just down to one lot now. I am done here. There is nothing for me to do here anymore for the rest of the trading day. The only thing I have to do now is just trail the last lot into the rest of the session. So that completes the trade. I still have exposure to more upside, but no more. I will not be adding to this trade any longer. I've already added to this trade multiple times. Right, we added at the open, 44, 47, scale, scale, scale. Added more here on this reclaim at 50, 51 looks like. Scale, scale, scale. And then I'm long from last night as well from 32s. Good day for you. Yeah, it is. Honestly, this is one of the bigger days I've had in the few weeks. And it just boils down to the failed breakdowns being so clean or so rewarding. But you know, this is an anomaly, not the baseline for me. So I understand that this, just understand as a viewer, and I myself know that this is not an everyday occurrence. This is this happens when there's a good zone to trade off of failed breakdowns off of. When there's a good zone and good trading structure, I mean, this is just what happens every so often. It doesn't happen every day for me. Yeah, I think the trade man, I don't know what you can benefit from, Jim. You know, only you know that. I just can make my own assumptions, and if I'm wrong, you let me know. But the classification between the two is important, because then you understand, like, okay, the reclaims have a lower expectancy, tighter take profits. Failed breakdowns have a higher caliber of return, but they both require the same level of structural management as it relates to a stop loss, right? Just make sure your stop losses are always pretty tight, like not tight, where they need to be. Yeah, sometimes, like, even if there's a failed breakdown that happens, Jim, you can just put a limit order somewhere where that failed breakdown originated, and odds are they'll come back and fill you. They'll come back and fill you. Just stuck in a cycle, yeah. I like anything, it's like good repetition. Good repetition, honing in on like one strategy and just repetitively doing it over and over. It becomes second nature. You're like, I'm not gonna panic sell this time. I already know this is what they do. And you just go like, I know what you're doing. I'm not gonna get stopped out, because I know this has a likelihood of recovering, right? So no, they'll do that. They'll mess with you, because like even last night, like, check it out. Last night, what the heck? Why does it do that? Okay, even last night, like when I took the reclaim trade, I was in drawdown for a little while. All right, so like I took the reclaim here originally, or the long here at 32. I went into drawdown like 10 points, and then I bought more on the second reclaim, or the actual failed breakdown at that point. And even then, even after I got in here on this push, it still went back down another 7 points, 5 to 7 points. So original drawdown 10, then added more, drawed me down another 7 points, and then it rallied. Rally. Right? That was, and I didn't, my stop loss was needed to be, again, critical thing here. Again, needed, not where I wanted it to be. It needed to be at the priority low at 415. So that's where my stop loss was at 415. Which is yesterday's low. And so then I scaled, and then it came back into the area, probed below. I bought more, and even then I bought more. It's even after I bought more here at 32 again that night, it went down again another 5 points against me. Scaled. And then this morning is the other entry. There wasn't much drawdown this morning. That I can't say. I didn't experience much drawdown. I did experience drawdown in general this morning from the other ads, but it was in profit. So I guess that's a different kind of stress. Because I took the long here at 40s in the morning, and then even then, look, it went down to 36 again, and then I added more, and I was already in a position. Scale. They're coming for that prior day high at 91. So like drawdown is a very normal part of the process. The question is your stop loss in the right invalidation area to endure that drawdown you may run into, right? Because drawdown is inevitable, unfortunately. I think I even made a funny post last night. I honestly thought the Bears were gonna fail today. That's why I posted yesterday. Bears have a simple job tomorrow. Just hold under the weekly value low to keep downside momentum play. Can they pull it off? And I made a picture of a bear crying. Look at him. How cute is he? He's mad, but he's crying a little bit. Well, Jim, I appreciate you being here every day. You know, chatting it up. And then Mr. FH, I'm not sure if you're still here. But I mean, honestly, Jim, I would just exclusively focus on just failed breakdowns if you were able to. It's very simple. You just like find the failed breakdown and then you just set a price alert on your chart. Once you've identified it, you set an alert, you put an alert, and then if it crosses below, you get notified. And then you wait. And that's it. NQ had a cleaner failed breakdown today than the S&P for sure. Oh, I'm sorry. To say hello. Let's see, where is Boeing? 221, SpaceX 157, VIX is at 18 again. Right. Okay. Let's see what the profile looks like so far. Should be a motivation, talking about value. I ain't talking about a stock rotation. There's the party high getting tapped, not taken. So yeah, this holds, bro. We're gonna fucking rally. 25s. 25 to 35 is what I have. Somewhere up here where we broke down from. So I have a runner in case it goes. In case it goes. If it wants to rally more, that's where I'll have a little one lot warrior to reach that area. Cause this is going pretty strong here. Excuse me. What an explosive move happening right now. Yeesh. Man. See if this continues or not. Probe of the prior day high and then just a little bit of move back lower. HVL 7465. What's up, man? Welcome back. High volume. What's HVL? Maybe HVN? High volume node? Right? Or I'm not sure. Let me know. Let me know. Can't fight the fear. So far, buyers are holding line. High volume level? What does that mean? Or, I mean, it sounds like a level that has a lot of volume. Is that what you're saying? Like a level that traded a lot of or transacted a lot of volume? And if so, what does that mean? Like you just put a level, you just put HVL 7465. That's what does that mean? I'm a little confused. I have been getting your newsletter, but not sure how I did that. Perhaps from clicking something. I don't know. I will continue to get that, or do I have to do something? You just have to subscribe. I don't know if do you have Substack? I'm learning your zones at the moment. Okay. Okay. You just have to. Let me see. Give me a second. So. Well, I'm logged in. Let me see if I can put a different browser. Give me a sec. Let me open up another browser when I'm not logged in and see what I can do to kind of replicate that. I think I have Explorer. So like you go to the, yeah, I'll put the link in here. You go to the link and you just like subscribe, and then you put your email in there. You know, like my name is Jeff. My name is Jeff at live.com. I don't know. Subscribe, and then you just, I mean, you don't have to do any of this. You could do, if you don't have to subscribe or pay or anything, just select free, and then yeah. You know, the plans, I mean, you don't have to pay for it. Like those are levels those are plans I put in. Think of it more like a tip or anything. I mean, there is a chat that I do discuss commentary throughout the night and day, entries and everything on Substack. So you do get that if you pay 11 a month, but you know, it's just me commenting on the market, my entries during overnight, the structure, what I'm looking for into the next day. I just type a lot of stuff in there throughout the day. Even while we're live here, I'm typing stuff in there. So that's essentially what the $11 would be, and the plans. But you don't need it. If you just want to read the context, the levels and everything, just, you know, 22 is, this one here is fine. Because on there you'll read, just, you'll get the entire newsletter. Like you'll read, you'll be able to read just, you'll get to your email, you'll get all the write down, you know, discussion of the zones, what I'm looking for into the next day, so on and so forth. The plans themselves are like the zones that I want to trade, they're below the paid area, so the exact levels are in the paid section. Just got looking into 0 DTE and 1 DTE. Oh, nice. How's that going for you, man? Oh, okay. So you're just like layering on more info. Cool. Cool, cool. And let's see here. It feels like the last nail needed for me. Oh, okay. I mean, the gamma levels themselves are good barometers for targets for sure. Targets in terms of profit, and just like overall structural areas where market makers are going to participate. There's not any holy grail or anything, but they're good barometers. I mean, more often than not, the call wall or put wall or whatever end up being like a near a pivotal higher low. Not exactly a higher low, but somewhere around there. It's kind of weird how this market's pre-structured. It is. It's contained, I would say. The movements are contained to some extent. Yeah, it does map, but I mean the overnight levels are very good reference areas. They're good areas to always have a reference, so I agree. They're a baseline for the day's kind of like outlook, right, on what's possible, which is interesting to say that the overnight session creates the structure for the next following day. It's kind of funny how that works, huh? The market to some degree, like it's contained in fragments, day to day. But then there's moments where you know, things break, right? There's certain outliers in the market that the market makers can't contain. Or maybe they're in on it, who knows? I think that they just lose control sometimes. Because for example, that day we were trading at 7,300, and then we had that Trump news. It took us all the way to 440, like 140 point move. 420, sorry. Like 100 point move, 120 point move off a tweet. I don't know if they factor those in. That containment was not part of the process as far as like gamma levels are concerned, that I had access to at least. The only thing that was interesting was, yeah, the sentiment through news, like that stuff. I don't know if they can contain that sometimes. I'm sure they try to salvage it, but I don't know if they can contain it. That probably has a lot to do with why we have such high volatility this whole 2 years, because of those sentiment movements in markets. Yeah, that causes the hedging. Yep, and that's what creates sometimes those long consolidation periods, I think, after a big impulse move. I think they're trying to hedge the entire leg, trying to make back, you know, that impulse. They're trying to make it back, like even out their books when those things happen. Because like if you think about Sunday's gap up from last week, let's go back here. Let me think about Sunday's gap up from last week. We had a massive leg up, and what did we do the rest of the week? Nothing. Nothing, pretty much. Like you had this like massive gap come Sunday into Monday, and the rest of the session we just ended up just consolidating between the Sunday session, because this is Monday's open. Monday open rallied, and then Tuesday just tucked back inside, and all we did was consolidate. So this is like we gapped up, it's overshot, and then we just balanced the rest of the week. So I you know, the extremes here, FOMC, Monday gap up on that news, but overall we just market makers pinned it probably around here. You know, they did a good job pinning value, and then we didn't break down until today, or sorry, Monday. They pinned it, you know. It's that reason I like playing failed breakdowns, because the pinning makes it simple. Like you find the low end of the pin, which in this case yesterday, if you look at my newsletters, I said the same level every day. 36s, 36s, 36s. That's the failed breakdown level I kept trading. So it was here, right here, 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 right? Like that area gave multiple 30 to 40 point moves in favor of bulls. that I was just consistently trading over and over. And today was this week so far, the newsletter this week, I said 32s, which is here. So I said 32s are the failed breakdown area on the newsletter, and those are the area. That's exactly the area that held here last night. Check it out. Here it is at 100-point dip on ES. Do bulls or bears take the ball? Answer lies at the 742 failed breakdown zone right there. 7432. I put that out yesterday. And then even the day before that, here it is, 536s. I said break out or break down on ES. The prior value or low is the tail at 7536 right here. No, and I kept referencing that every single day on the newsletter. But anyway, if you guys want to read it, it's right here. It just coincides that both structures have the 30s. It's not always the case. It just happens to be coincidence there. We test the week's lows, and then this turns to resistance now. Yeah. So the big key now is like if this pop holds, I'm gonna trail my stop, by the way. I want to trail it below this low right here, 80s. On this one. If the question for me now is like, if this is going to push back into last week's lows, I have this chart over here. Let's make it easier. Like if we're going to retrace and come back into this area, the 528, 530, the question for me is like, are we going to hold over it on a reclaim? And if so, I mean, it's going to be simple. We're coming right back to 600 again. Like if this area failed, we no longer revisit and we just go like this and hold here, then we're gonna come straight to 600. Or it can do this. It can test it, back test it, fail, and then come back into this midpoint, hold and consolidate for a while, and then break out. That's another scenario I can see. That's two scenarios. And the third scenario would be a big rejection, come back in, then hold this low, and then break out. Right? These lows then become liquidity, and the reclaim ends up being a failed breakdown of these lows. Those are the three scenarios that I see happening from here. I can kind of draw them out, but you got this one, reclaim, holds over, boom. Then you have this one, test, come back, just consolidate here, and then break out. One of those three scenarios will play out. Potentially. I think the most likely scenario based on the volume profile here, this is a weekly volume profile, is that we probably just consolidate to fill out this inefficiency here. You know, we probably consolidate above 80, 60, somewhere around here, and we just kind of trade sideways until this profile becomes even. Something like that. Right? Like we probably don't break out, but we just kind of fill it out by trading here sideways into the end of the week. That seems more likely based on the profile. So yeah, those are the three scenarios, and then kind of like more or less my lean based on the profiles. So that's the somewhat of an outlook. See if I get trailed out here on this little rejection. NQ is fading. It's fading fast. Let's see. This is the scene I'm referencing right now. This is the NQ right now.
Hey, champ. That's it, buddy.
Check it out. Check it out. Hold on. Can you hear it?
Enjoy your retirement. Storm takes back the lead. Unbelievable.
Right here. Right here. He's fading. He's fading fast. That's the Nasdaq right now. He's gonna blow a gasket. Watch it. Watch. No. No. The NQ's like, no. 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 I can do this. I can break above you up. And then, boom. I didn't show the whole scene, fuck. Pretty similar to what I see you did. Got a great entry for a long try. Yeah, thanks, man. Rick, can I ask you how I should think about the 432? Why it didn't really go below? It didn't go there this morning, man. What it did go into, look, I don't like to share everything, but I'll do it here. I really don't like to give away everything, to be honest, but if you go to the 4 hour on the full session, the level that I had highlighted, I took it off now because it's no longer relevant, but I'll highlight it anyway. The failed breakdown for me now was here at the 40. If you go back to the stream, you'll see I had a 7440 highlighted somewhere around here. That's a cluster of 4 hour lows. You see the lows right there? Right? You had 2 4 hour lows right here. If it doesn't come down to that, that was going to be my next level up reference, which I had drawn out here in the morning, and it's exactly where the low is at the RTH. Yesterday's ETH, like my long was at 32s. It was a clear failed breakdown during the ETH. Today it was not a clear failed breakdown. It was just a reclaim. So it's when you trade failed breakdowns, there's a story, right? There's a narrative I play all the time. Here's how I see it anytime I have a narrative or a failed breakdown that I'm already positioned in. If you're already in a position, or if you have already acknowledged or identified that there's a current failed breakdown open, fuck. What the heck? I hate when this happens. If I've already identified a failed breakdown, right? Like, let me draw my drawing tool here. So number one, come on. Oh, it is open. Okay. Number one, find the FBD. Okay, we found the FBD. Okay, then two, if you already found the FBD and you already entered there, then the second thing you can do is find the cluster of lows over FBD. And that's your reclaim long, right? It's the reclaim long trade. It's not long. It's not as high quality as the failed breakdown itself, which is why if you saw me trade this morning, I did not trade nearly the same size that I did the failed breakdown overnight. Overnight, I had a total of like 13 lots or 13 micros. When I traded the failed breakdown this morning, or the reclaim this morning, it was only a max of half of that size, 6 lots at any point. I added 3 lots, added 6 micros in the morning on the reclaim above VWAP, and then I added another 3 more lots again the second time I reclaimed. So I traded them significantly smaller than the original trade, the original failed breakdown, because I don't expect the reclaims to always work out. So if you've already identified the failed breakdown but you did not enter at the failed breakdown, which happens a lot to me too, your next thing to do is to find the reclaim. Where is that reclaim? Where is that cluster of lows that is higher than the current failed breakdown structure? And and then your job is to find an entry somewhere around there, not in a big size, because it's not an A+ setup or A+ zone, but to just simply find the reclaim area if you can, and find that entry. But if you miss it, you miss it. Just wait till the next one forms, you know? But the reason I like the 39s, which is where it was, it was 39 right here. By the risk allocation, it was good assumption, but no, it was not. No, you really passively? No. So I started a new eval because I unfortunately failed one recently. So I did not. At 2K. That is where you should be though in terms of risk allocation, where you just said that balance should be there to be at 1% or less. The original risk on the trade was about 900 on the trade. When I took it initially. Based on the size and where the stop loss was. Where is my... This one right here, cool. So yeah, I mean the question was like, yeah, the entry was never a failed breakdown this morning, it was just a reclaim. It was a reclaim long. So if you missed that trade and you're only trading failed breakdowns, then just wait for the next one. Would be the best bet. This thing is going over prior day high and just kind of teetering here. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna head out. Not much engagement, so, and it's just I don't have nothing to do here either. I just trailed the final lot there. If it takes me out, cool. I'll hold it for the rest of the day and kind of see where things land somewhere between now and the end of the day. So, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow.